Gentlemen, the thing about alcohol is that it will be available to you at any time if you don't have it now. But the lady, however, will not. Just a thought. Just a thought. Now, but we were talking about casting directors, right? What is your take on how there's an evolution in the industry right now?
Well, I think it's definitely improved, I would have to say, and I think it's becoming far more structured, which it needs to, because it's such an unstructured business, and I think as a newcomer, you're really sort of so lost. Because like I said, I can only share my experiences, you don't know anybody. You just go via friends who are also trying to, do something, and you hear. But I think now, definitely, people like Mukesh Chabra, Shanu Sharma, Nandini, all these guys are sort of trying to make the business and the process of casting far more easier for the actors involved. And I think they're really empathetic also towards the journey the actor has to take to landing that part, because that's a huge journey. Everyone sees the success story. Everyone sees, this one do that film and that film. But the journey before that, it's a very painful journey, and it's painful for everybody. So, some people choose to talk about it more, so but I think everybody goes through that. So the overnight success takes many years to get.
I think this is like playing, if you want to be a musician and you want to play the guitar in front of a live audience, it takes those many years of practice to then, get to, you can't just come and go tick tock tock.
Yeah, and acting is a serious business, and everybody has an opinion on actors. I think it's such a vulnerable position to be an actor, because everyone has an opinion on you, and you sometimes, it's...
Have you developed some sort of a guard?
I still struggle with it, to be honest. There are days when I feel I can take on the world, there are days I feel, oh God, I can't. But I think the only thing that sort of keeps me going is acting itself. Like whenever I feel really low and lonely, I just feel, dude, I made it so far. मैं कुछ तो ठीक कर ही रही होंगी. Like master class, I remember when I moved to Bombay, and I was just a struggling actor, and Yashji was being interviewed by Sudhir Mishra, and it happened at Blue Frog in Bombay, and I'd gone to hear them, and I was just like sitting like this kid, mesmerized by what they were talking about and all the anecdotes and the stories, and that gave me a lot of hope. So when I got a call for this one, I was like, shit, I must be doing something right.
Yeah. So now is the struggle that you were talking about. Let's say जो एक साल था बॉम्बे में. Were there many times you felt that, so let's just back up and go back home?
So for me, the biggest turning point, I think, was the decision to come to Bombay. My father told me, go for a year, figure it out. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I don't know how to be another struggler in the sea of people and not do anything with her life. So it was my commitment to him that I had 1 year to sort of prove myself. And I remember I had done, my first ever ad was directed by Amit Sharma for Idea Mobile, and I'm playing this journalist reporter who's interviewing Abhishek Bachchan, saying, sir.
You remember the line? Something like
the idea, क्या था? I don't remember it. Okay. But something, एक idea, my line was, एक idea जिसने आपकी जिंदगी बदल दी, or something like that was my line, okay? And he gives some line about the brand and everything. And I was so excited, and I remember IPL was going on. So I was still living in the PG, and I would go to the neighboring flat, which was because we didn't have a TV. So I would go to the neighboring landlord's house and say, भैया please TV देख लीजिए, IPL में मेरा ad आएगा.
No TV, that's a real struggle.
Yeah, I didn't have a TV. I used to watch it on laptops, but no TV. But I used to go to my friend's house to watch it. And I used to go and tell Bhaiya, please, मेरा ad आने वाला है, I want to watch it on IPL. But the amazing thing was कि दिल्ली में जितनी friends, family, chacha, mom, masi, kaka, everybody would call neighbors saying, hey, we saw your ad, it's damn cool. So, and I think when your parents see you on TV, then they feel कि अच्छा चलो कुछ तो कर ही रहे हैं.
सबूत है ना?
हाँ, कुछ तो कर रही है. एक अभिषेक बच्चन के साथ ad में आ गई, यार कुछ तो कर ही रही होगी.
So was that a signature moment for you? Or which was your signature?
The signature moment, I think, was the decision to move to Bombay.
Solid.
It really, I was really in a kashmakash.
Kashmakash, yeah.
कि क्या move करना चाहिए नहीं
I
करना
hate being in
चाहिए.
a kashmakash.
Yeah, but I mean, it's everything. It's a metamorphosis. Something good comes out of it.
Yeah.
But I was really scared about moving to Bombay. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have friends. My entire life in Delhi was a 5-kilometer radius. Like my school, my college, my friends, everything. And moving to Bombay was like this unknown entity.
Yeah.
And it took me about a year to make that decision because my family was like, "You're silly. Just go study abroad. Do something with your life. What are you doing this? You can do so much rather than just being a Bollywood actress."
Yes.
And I think a lot of people still think like that. Fortunately, that thing is changing, and I'm grateful that in some small way I'm part of that change.
Yes. You're pretty big here.
But it was hard for me because I also weighed the pros and cons, and it's scary, right? Because you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah.
You don't know whether what you think in your head is going to translate. You don't know how good you think you are. You're actually that good. And sometimes when nobody believes in you, you just got to believe in yourself.
That's right. But you knew then that you would be able to convert this into a profession. You'd be able to convert your passion into a paycheck.
I hope so.
But like someone.
I prayed and I hope so.
Yeah. There must have been some. Did you have any gurus or like any role models?
Yes, I think the first person in my life who told me that I could act was my theatre teacher. This gentleman called N.K. Sharma. He runs one of the oldest Hindi-speaking theatre groups in Delhi. Well, Act 1. And I started sort of doing plays with him and stuff.
How old were you when you started?
Oh, I was in like 12th standard, 11th, yeah.
So that's 16, 17.
That's 16, 17. And he was like, you should, and he was the first guy who told me, you should act. So I was like, really? You think I'm that good? Like, and he was one person he really sort of pushed me. And even when I didn't believe in myself, he believed in me. I think sometimes you need that kind of a mentor who just believes in you. Because I've had the lowest self-esteem ever.
Does the low self-esteem sometimes work for an actor?
I think so. I think sometimes, when you have all the answers, then you become horrible. You become so full of yourself and
you have no friends.
You have no friends because you're so full of yourself.
I have all the answers, but there's nobody to talk to.
I am nobody. I am just like, I think being a little insecure,
right,
being a little afraid, being a little not sure works. I feel the points in time in life where I'm just I can do this. I have just messed up things. But the times that I've been really scared, those times have converted into something very beautiful.
Wow, if insecurity and fear are some of the criteria, then I'm going to be a huge Most definitely. Rajnikant, get out of the way. Never. Okay, now, of course, we're talking about, the breaks and a big break, which for you, I like the way you said that your signature moment was the moment that you realized, or the decision that you made, give us a shift karna hai, you have to go to Bombay, go to that city and set up Dukan and just see, work and see how things go. And it's paid off tremendously. But what would you say to a lot of people who come to Bombay? Now, time is relative. It also works differently for different people.
Sure.
So I think it's fortunate that it took you just 1 year from the time
Do my
you
first
landed.
ad, yes. Do my first ad, yeah.
Correct. Absolutely. Because then for the other stuff to start picking up, it would have taken some
2009, I think it's my first commercial. My first film released 2012.
So struggle to struggle here.
Struggle. Correct.
What would you say to a lot of people who watch the show and would like to do the same thing? I mean, we always meet people who, especially in their 20s, and they're like, "Mujhe Bombay jana hai," or actor banna hai.
People who want to become actors, my only advice you would be run. Run. Find another passion if you can.
Really?
Well, I always used to think that being an actress is so amazing. You just have to do hair and makeup and chill and everybody. Yeah. It's a lot of hard work, guys.
I think so.
And I think today acting is not just about the glamour of it or the comfort of it or the razzmatazz of it. I think it's so much more. And as actors, you have to be, I believe that the best actors are always like, they're very smart, they're well read, they travel really well, and they have so much They have a different insight into life and things, which is why they're amazing actors and which is why they continue to work for so many years. I mean, at least that's the actor I would aspire to be. You know, who's relevant during time. You know, I think today as actors, you can't just think, I'm just going to look amazing and I'm going to worry about who I'm going to cast opposite and just be like the next big thing or hot thing or whatever.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Guys, I can't ask the crowd to stay quiet because they would have stayed quiet if I had. Gayatri? Oh no! Please convey that message, yeah? We'll carry on our chat. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I've lost my train of thought.
Somebody quickly prompt us.
Where were we?
What were we talking about?
No one's paying attention, huh?
No. Are see.
She's paying attention.
Very much. What were we
talking
about?
Inspired by the actors. Inspired by the actors. Ah, well done, girl.
Thank you.
What I was trying to say that acting today, I think, you know, I mean, for me, like the best actors across times and across period have been people who always remain relevant to the times. Today, you can't just be about how beautiful you are or who you cast opposite. I think as actors and actresses of the female gender, you have to be sort of more aware of the responsibility of the kind of work you're doing and always be connected to your audience. You can't afford to be in this bubble and not relate to people, because to be an actor you have to always associate very deeply with your and resonate with your audience.
But don't you feel we act all the time? Like we are fortunate to be, I mean, a professional practicing artist, but even life may, you're acting the part of a father, acting the part of the brother, the mother.
Yeah.
It's a role, it's acting only, no?
Acting only. I have learned all my acting from life only. मम्मी बोलती थी बेटा तुम कितने बजे वापस आओगे बाहर जा रहे हो मम्मी जल्दी आ जाओगी with a straight face and never used to come back on time. हमको ना कभी night out की permission नहीं मिलती थी. My mother was like you can't अंधेरा हो गया बेटा कहाँ जा रहे हो?
I know how you see.
It's dark. It's Delhi and it's dark. You can't be out of the house. So बड़ी मुश्किल से मिन्नतें करके mom, can you please let us go to a friend's birthday? My best friend. So my mother had a curfew of 11. Okay. By 11 o'clock at night, you have to come back. And I was in school. So then I used to calculate, if I go back home at 12, or go back home at 2, that तो उतनी पड़ेगी. So might as well go back home at 2 o'clock. So that's how I learned my acting. If my mother said, what time are you back? I'll be back by 11, no problem. I'll be back at the time you said I'll be back at.
So that she's
satisfied. No, she would not sleep. She would wait and then she'd call and I would pick up and say, yeah mom, where are you? Mom, 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
And I'd be sitting at the party.
But that's, yeah, you're right. I mean, this little white lies are essential sometimes. Now, I do want to harp a bit and go back to Passion to Paycheck in terms of when you, as an actor, as a performer, how does it work? I mean, Kay, do you feel, how do you know what economic structure to follow? How are you a professional in the thing, you know?
How do you make money basically?
How do you make money? Because it's also, we don't come from a background of show business. That's not our business.
Sure.
We minded our own business as children.
Yeah.
Uske baad you like say, acha ye bhi hai, you know, and wow, you can make a living out of performing or, you know, doing a signature show. That's pretty cool.
Are they paying you for this?
No.
You're paying him for this?
No. I get a lot of alcohol and apples. No. But how do you craft it then? Or do you not think about the economics of it, Pandey?
Yeah, you don't craft it.
You don't craft it.
I think if you do something, and it's always worked in my life, and I can only talk about my experience. If you do something for the passion and the purity of it, money always follows. Like I generally, without thinking about money, when I was doing theatre in Delhi, I didn't know I was going to become a movie actor. I'm not a star. I was just doing it because I really enjoyed being on stage.
Yeah.
And sometimes we would go and we would sweep the floor of our rehearsal theatre, or we would just like, you know, we would pool in money to buy chai for everyone. We did all those things, and you know, we had to pull in money to buy props for the show and things like that. It was really a struggle to put up a show.
Right.
But I enjoyed that process. And my father used to tease me, तुम ये क्या झोला छाप वाले काम करते रहते हो, झोला लेके तुम घूमते रहोगे, थिएटर करते रहोगे. It doesn't really pay the bills. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know what the plan was going to be. I didn't know how the money would follow, but I knew this is what I really enjoyed doing. And somewhere along the way, I think, money follows.
Yes.
If you do something for the money, money will always evade you. That's what I believe.
I feel it's like the laws of attraction.
Like, I don't think Sachin, like, for example, to give you like a very different example, I don't think Sachin Tendulkar thinks about how much money he's making. I think he just plays. Or Virat Kohli, I think they just play.
Yeah.
They don't really think about how much money I'm going to get by playing well.
And accordingly, I later six.
And accordingly, I play well or what won't play well. I think it's just about you love what you do,
Yes.
and people just appreciate for it. And money is a form of appreciation in dollars or whatever, rupees or whatever it is.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. If you're getting paid in Sri Lankan currency, then it's going to be
That's not right. I'll take Canadian dollars, please.
anything, man.
Anything, man.
Coupons also.
You're paying him for this?
I
He's
get
getting paid to
coupons.
do this?
I also get cash in nuts, guys. I get cash.
He's getting paid to where?
The ladies.
I'm just going, where's my check?
The ladies in red. now, now, how often do you work as an like this year?
I work all the time.
मतलब छुट्टी नहीं है क्या?
That's what I'm trying to say. If someone had told me that it never ends. Like you're always doing something or the other. Either you're shooting or you're traveling for work, or you're doing events, or you're doing brands, or now this new thing of social media, something or the other keeps going on.
हाँ तो उसका क्या scene है? Social media is like now everybody will be like throwing roses or potatoes or tomatoes and garlic.
Yeah. Everybody with a smartphone is on social media and has an opinion basically.
Anybody with opposable thumb.
Yeah, opposable thumbs basically. Yeah, even chimpanzees. I think most of them are chimpanzees.
They are
only.
chimpanzees.
With no eyebrows and vicious tongues.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks they have an opinion and they can express it.
I think so. And you don't get bothered by haters?
No, I don't. I just block them.
And in your free time, I mean, when was the last time you had a family celebration?
Oh, we try and take our time whenever we can. Like birthdays are sacred.
Really?
New Year is sacred. No matter how much money I get paid, my manager there is smiling because she knows it's true. She has that one with the phone over there, that one. She always wants me to work on New Year's, and I tell her, इतने से पैसों के लिए अपना New Year खराब कर दूँ? बिल्कुल भी नहीं. But this time is special. With friends and family, and we work the whole year.
Yes.
एक तो so I think कुछ दिन ऐसे होते हैं that you need to sort of take out for yourself and your close ones because they don't never come back.
Yeah.
They just don't come back.
But
So I don't want
how time works.
Yeah.
Oh, like, shit, nikal gayi.
Yeah. So those days I don't touch, and then I just recently took a vacation with my parents. We'd gone to Vancouver.
Oh, nice.
So that was quite nice. I'd gone there for a film festival, and they went with me.
Was it
and
winter?
It was very cold. It was lovely. It was lovely.
I can't take too much cold.
Just eat 2 pancakes, you'll be fine.
What are clothes have shrunk? Clothes have shrunk. How do you deal with the norms that have already existed in Bollywood? Just there are 2 questions that I want to ask you. One is the physical appearance of it, which Ajad people have asked you. And in terms of your being, like, because cameras ke samne, red carpet, people, there's a different, it's a performance also.
Sure.
No? You have to, no matter what's happened in the day, you need to be like, hairspray,
pout, the whole thing, yeah.
flawless.
Flawless.
So how do you balance the massage and how do you balance structure?
Well, you're not saying it, you're being polite, I'll say it for you.
Yeah.
The 2 words, size 0 nepotism, that I'm sick of answering
What is
questions
size
on.
0?
Size 0 and nepotism.
Right.
And I'm sick of answering questions on.
I'm sorry, but I wanted to ask something.
No, of course. But I think, here's what I believe, I think, how should one frame it? As young women, we're constantly told how we are not supposed to behave this way and that way, and how we're supposed to be seen and not heard, and how we should look, and how we should dress, and how we should not dress, and how pally you can be with guys, and this you should not do because it's very unladylike. And I think it's this constant barrage while we are growing up of do this and don't do this and do this. It's almost like girls are supposed to be upholders of the universe in that sense.
But
without
they
having
are.
any. No, they aren't. Really, they aren't. So stop putting us on a pedestal. We are not some goddess, and we are not some, somebody to be tamed and told how to behave a particular way. We have our own individuality.
Okay.
We are all of us in this room full of lots of women. All of us are as different as we are. Often I've gone to auditions where on a sheet of paper it says, say for example, Susie. Susie is a smart, intelligent woman. Or Susie is a smart, strong girl. Why do you have to call Susie smart or strong?
Just call her Susie.
Just call her Susie. Would you ever say that for a guy? Neil is a smart, strong guy. I've never heard an audition sheet say that.
I never heard you say that. You can't. It's like, Usi Bhakti. Have you ever heard Neil? Right. No, true.
So my point is, there are always these boxes you're trying to put women in, and I think body shape or skin color or how you're supposed to behave is just one of those tags, really.
Yeah.
And honestly, what kind of a world are we living for other young girls? I've grown up with body image issues like everybody else. I've yo-yo dieted, I've felt like I'm horrible looking, blah 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 blah, because there's always people telling you what's not good about you.
Yeah, true.
And why should we let them?
Yeah.
That's been my only thing. I'm a person. I, thankfully, because of my family or my upbringing or whatever other reasons or the journey I've had as a human being, I've managed to stand up and say, what, this is how I am, take it or leave it. And I think, touch wood, it's been an amazing journey so far. So why should I feel that I am lesser in any way because of your standard of how everybody should be?
Yes.
I was told when I entered the business, don't talk like you know it all. Don't sound so intelligent. Hindi film heroines are not supposed to be so chapar or bade. So Hindi film heroines don't use such big words and don't sound like they know it all. Just act a little dumb and innocent and like you don't know what's going on and a babe in the woods. And I was like, what? No, I'm not going to do that. And actually, people tell me that. So it's really sort of. I feel like no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a bit of a.
But I have noticed.
I don't like that.
But I have seen some actresses. I know they're playing the part. I know they're playing the part of the.
मुझे नहीं पता क्या है. Okay, I'm going to act.
Which is also, I mean.
But it's unfortunate that they have to do that. It's unfortunate that young women feel the need to act dumb because it's a boys' club.
To elevate. Yeah.
To elevate themselves, or just because they feel it's a boys' club and they won't be welcome in it, or the men will feel threatened by it. And I think why should that happen?
Yes.
It's really unfortunate that needs to happen. But I'm glad to say it's changing. Today you have more women in the business who are writers, directors, producers, technicians, who are enabling other women in front of the camera to sort of feel secure, and women in general to feel secure. More women's stories are coming out. People are, it's getting more balanced. The world is becoming flatter as we speak.
But I do believe we will only have the equality of the genders when people, like when you hear a kid say, a little boy say, I want to grow up to be a skilled fighter like Mary Poppins.
Yeah, for sure. Why not?
We're not
Absolutely.
talking about the gender over there. We're talking about the skills that the individual possesses. I think that is what the eventual.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you.
Now, I want to talk about history.
Oh.
History honors हुआ था ना?
हाँ, हुआ तो था.
हाँ, और आपके जो फिल्म्स भी है, वाइसरॉय.
Please, इस सवाल मत पूछो हिस्ट्री के ऊपर. I don't want to embarrass myself.
But was there a photo that threatened to come out?
Oh, there was?
Viceroy's house.
Yay.
Viceroy's house. So you studied history and now you are doing stories. That's a really bad joke.
Yeah, basically.
We'll edit that out.
I think so.
Now please tell me the story of how you and Viceroy's house came together.
Every significant, or more, not every, but I think a lot of significant films I've done in my life have all happened because I auditioned for them.
Yes.
And I'm very proud to say that because it makes me feel like I've earned the part and not, it wasn't engineered to happen for me. And Vaishroy's House is one such film that was in my house. And Sehel Lateef, the casting director, called me and said, Gurinder Chadha is making this film. She's looking for an Indian actress. Would you read for it? I said, sure, let me read the script.
Yeah. What's this character's name?
Manish Dayal.
No, that's his actor's name.
Jeet.
Is the driver in it?
No, the driver was played by Arunodaya. His name was Asif.
You
auditioned for that? No! What are you
I
saying?
didn't get it, yeah.
Damn,
Anyway.
I'll call them and say you made a big mistake.
It's quite a... No. People should know when they made a mistake. Anyway. Carry on.
So yeah, I read for the part and Sehel came to my house. She had a little camcorder,
Yeah.
and there was one scene, and I'm supposed to be very upset that India is getting partition. And I had dupatta. So the dupatte ko aise hila ke karke I have expressed my anger, which I also didn't know. I was just doing it because I wanted to do some activity,
Yeah.
which Gurinder really liked, and that's I think how I got cast for the film.
कैरेक्टर को आपने निचोड़
निचोड़ के निकाल दिया.
How was it working with being directed by Gurinder Chadha?
Oh,
I mean, that's a really... I hate when somebody asks me that question.
yeah, no?
What are the specifics that you like about working with your director?
Well, she's a woman director. I never worked with a female
So I've
director
noticed. Before?
No, first female director, first British Punjabi director, first English film. So it was interesting. But Gurinder is like a force of nature. Hatkutti Punjabi jise bolte hain na. She's not happy with your half best. She really go all out, guns blazing. So she's one of those kind of directors, which I completely enjoy. I love people who push me. So it was a very interesting, So it was a very interesting process to work with her, and I'm very proud of this film. It's a very sweet film about the partition. But it's also a human story about how all these divides are really not necessary, and how humanity and love are the biggest,
It's the only-
more than any religion. The
Eventually,
old-fashioned love story.
eventually mankind will have no choice but to love each other.
Because there won't be anybody left.
Yeah, they'll be like,
So you'll have to love yourself.
लड़ने के लिए भी
We'll
कोई
just kill each other one day, basically, the way we are heading.
सब भूख से मर गए. Anyway,
Oh,
now I do want to do a picture. Sip of water.
get the water, yeah. I need some water. Are you guys getting bored? Should we open the house with some questions?
Well, in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, but you start thinking of your question, please, from now.
So you better have a good question now to ask.
Yeah.
Pressure.
और हाँ, वो तो है. Actually, इसमें थोड़ा ज्ञान की जरूरत है.
Oh dear.
नहीं, please.
मेरे को वैसे कुछ नहीं आता. I told my mother they called me for a master class. She was laughing. तुमको क्या आता है जो बाकी लोगों को बताओगे? My mother said that.
She
She actually said that तुमको क्या आता है? She gets very amused, my mother, when people interview me. Why do the people want to know what you're thinking? You talk rubbish half the time anyway.
No, it's damn important, yeah.
I just hope it's not mother saying that she doesn't actually mean it.
Because then, when this is edited also, apart from the audience, and I'm sure a lot of people, want to be artists themselves and have children and they have this thing. And eventually, I think conversation is the best way to go. Now, yes, no, it's proper.
Okay.
Now, if you could tell us, now this is the master class, the big five, ladies and gentlemen, pull out the notebooks. Now, 5 ways to succeed when the odds are against you.
Discipline, blind belief in yourself, humility, openness to learn, and 8 hours of sleep every night.
Wow. That was very
Amazing.
crisp. Yeah, very crisp.
Wow.
Thank you. 8 hours of sleep is
8
important.
hours of sleep is important.
Discipline. Why is discipline important?
Well,
No, I swear, I'm like asking, how as an artist, how do you create discipline?
Well, as an artist, and I can only talk about myself, sometimes we indulge ourselves a little bit. Sometimes we give into excesses.
Yes.
We don't understand the value of just waking up every single day and plowing ourselves into our craft. I believe in the 10,000 hour rule. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's basically the rule in which if you do something for 10,000 hours, eventually you'll get good at it. Even if you're a hot, I work at it every day and I will continue to work at it. So I think in that sense, I feel I'm more disciplined.